All right. My name is Colin. I am the youth advisor for TRASH, which is Teens Rejecting Abusive Smoking Habits. Or I'm a advisor, I guess I should say. And here in the Frederick division, we're called FLASH, or Frederick's League Against Smoking Habits. And these are my youth, Jay and John. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Yeah. Say power to the people.
Power to the people.
Nice. What we're going to do today is we're going to go out on the streets of Frederick and we're going to present random passerby with various statistics about the way that tobacco is depicted in the movies. And hopefully we'll be able to get some pretty awesome reactions because some of the statistics are kind of funny. Yeah, let's go get on out there. I think one of the biggest problems tobacco use in our culture is kind of a heritage sort of thing. We've been doing it for a long, long time. Unfortunately, the data of how it affects us in terms of our health, in terms of our public health, the cost of smoking, is that hasn't been around for as long as smoking itself has. So it's going to take a while to really get the public involved and really get them have a really good idea of what smoking actually means. And that's kind of like what we're out here doing today. It's just trying to raise public awareness, and both individually by talking. Watch your step here. By talking to people individually and giving them statistics about smoking in movies. And also we're going to be posting the video on YouTube, which hopefully lots of people will see and raise awareness even more. What do you think? Good idea?
I think it's a very good idea.
What do you guys
That's
think?
why I agreed to this.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan? Yes, my name's Russell.
Get a little closer in there.
So anyway, the organization we represent is called TRASH, which stands for Teens Rejecting Abusive Smoking Habits. And these are just some statistics about smoking in movies. If you were to guess, what would you say the percentages for smoking in R-rated movies?
I'd say 65 to 70%.
The statistic is 80%.
Okay.
And how about for PG-13 movies?
Well, since the last one was 80, I'd say it's probably lower, so we'll go with 65% right there.
75%. All right, now here's the one that really surprised me. Statistic for G and PG family movies is 40%.
Really?
Yes. So would you personally, your personal opinion, agree that you think we should send a message to Hollywood asking them to take smoking out of their films?
I think that would be a good idea, especially because most kids don't understand the difference between things, and they're probably looking up to a lot of things they see, especially in cartoons.
Right. That was another thing we read, that children who see actors or actresses smoking in movies are 16 times more likely to have a positive attitude towards smoking.
Gotcha.
So, anyway, thank you for your time.
Welcome.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Problem.
Yeah. All right, Ankon, let's do it. All right, this is Ankon and John, right? Okay. You ready? Okay, go for it.
Hello, my name is John. How are you doing? Good, how are you? I'm good.
What's your name first?
Ankon.
Oh, Ankon. Yeah.
Ankon.
Yeah, where are you from, Ankon?
Me, I live in Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's a nice place, yeah.
I would like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you know that smoking in movies is getting higher?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deep breath, John.
Okay.
Okay.
How many movies have you seen the past, like, this year?
10 to 20, I would think.
A good number. How many times did you see someone smoke?
Not very often in the new ones, I guess.
Government is trying to trick us, I guess.
Yeah. How often is smoking depicted in R-rated movies, John?
Yes, about 87%.
Yeah, 80% of R-rated movies depict smoking in some form.
My parents don't let me see that.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
Did they let you see
He's joking with you.
PG-13?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we're on somewhere.
Okay. Well, what's the percentage of movies, PG-13 movies, that depict smoking in some form, tobacco usage in some form?
75%.
75%. Yeah. Now here's the real kicker. What's the G and PG rated movies, John?
40%.
40%. Yeah. So that's pretty high, isn't it? Like for kids movies, right?
Yeah, I didn't
like
think it was that high.
they're G-rated movies, you know, which means they're for little youngsters. And what we've seen so far, the Institute of Medicine has shown that if a child watches movies that depict smoking or tobacco usage in some form, it quadruples their chance of actually trying tobacco products. So would you agree that we should send a message to Hollywood and say, you know, it's really not a good idea to have smoking in movies if it's raising the chances of kids trying to smoking so much?
I think you're right, yeah.
I think so too. Yeah. All right, well, great. Thank you very much, Ankon.
No problem.
Yeah. Have a good one. Yeah. Thanks, John.
Us too.
I know, right? Yeah. So, I don't know, hey, can we take you guys someplace a little quieter and ask you a couple of questions?
Sure, I don't know if we've known each other long.
Is that weird?
It's not going that whatever.
Okay. Well, how about let's go over to, is it okay if we go over to Kill Creek?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Just don't kill us.
Oh, we won't. I'll try.
We'll just lock you up and...
Okay, so these are my friends from way back in high school. It's funny that I saw them. You know, but this is
Second time I've ran into you.
Katie and Tracy. I'm Colin once again. Tracy and Katie. I'm the youth advisor for a group called TRAP. It stands for Teens Rejecting Abusive Smoking Habits. And right now, we're going around downtown right now. We came over to Carroll Creek because it's nice and quiet over here. And we're asking people, basically just throwing statistics in their faces and seeing like what they think about these, you know, basically how smoking is depicted in movies and how it affects our teen communities who are, you know picking up smoking for the first time. First off, I'm going to throw a big number out here. 30,000
Okay.
is the number of youth that die in old age after being recruited by seeing smoking in the movies. Yeah. That's a big number. 30,000. It's almost as big as the Frederick or like this,
That's
Frederick
probably
City,
true.
yeah.
That is a
Yeah,
bad
so
accurate.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you think like
All of Frederick County dies.
yeah, all
from
of
this.
Frederick County dies. Just anyway, so here's another. No, you guys are doing great. So here's the question: how often do you think tobacco is depicted in R-rated movies?
In R-rated movies?
R-rated.
I'd say more often than PG.
What's the statistic? Just throw a statistic out there.
I don't know how many movies are made a year.
Oh yeah, to just say a random number.
I was gonna say
Okay.
because that sort of depends.
And is it per movie?
Well, just in general, like how often is tobacco? You can't give a wrong answer. Don't worry. You're not being tested here. No, I'm not going to judge you. Basically, the question is how often is tobacco usage depicted in R-rated?
R-rated?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 500.
No, not the whole number. Percentage.
Oh, percentage.
Yeah.
I'd say probably 60%.
60%, 87%.
Wow.
Yeah, 80% of R-rated movies.
Thanks for telling us it was a percentage after we
Yeah.
guessed.
Well, yeah. How about this? How about PG-13 rated movies? How often do you think they do that?
Let's say 70.
75%. Yeah, and here's the real kicker: PG and G-rated movies. How often do you?
You're
think
gonna say something much higher than what we think.
Probably. Yeah.
40.
66.
Exactly.
Oh.
You are good at that. Yeah.
I
But
just know what
it's
hurts
not
all the
funny
questions.
though. It's not
No,
funny.
it's very
yeah.
sad.
Because
No, it is.
what we see.
It's
It's also
comical
sad that
because
she
it's
knows more than
ridiculous.
It is, yeah, it's comic. It is comical. Yeah, how often cigarettes and smoking products appear in kids-rated movies?
And that's funny
People
because
who are
my
this
professor
high,
argues
you know?
there's very little cigarette usage in movies now. I'm just like, no, you're
No,
wrong.
There
No, there
definitely-
still is.
Yeah.
And here's another big thing. A child who sees smoking or tobacco usage depicted in movies that he or she watches, is 4 times more likely to pick it up as a habit later.
Actually, that's lower than expected.
But it's pretty high.
That's, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
These are children from non-smoking parents.
Oh,
So this is
okay.
their only exposure, or one
Well,
of their.
that makes sense
What
then.
we see
One
is
of their
that
earliest exposures.
Yeah.
earliest exposures. Yeah. So, would you agree? The question is, would you agree that we should send a message to Hollywood saying, stop putting cigarette and tobacco usage in cigarettes.
Yeah,
Not
they
cigarettes,
will,
sorry,
but we
movies.
should.
I actually don't think that's necessarily solely the responsibility of Hollywood.
Right.
I do think that
You
they
picked an actress and a school psychologist.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
Okay,
job,
well, let's get you
Colin.
on camera
Seriously.
saying.
I
yes.
don't think I don't think it's solely their responsibility. I
Right.
don't. I think that it is much more dependent upon the community to help
think
reinforce
Well, that's
that.
what we're doing.
Well,
I
right,
think it's
and
a
that's
school's
wonderful.
job because that's going to be my job.
But I think that there is something to be said about Hollywood being such an early
Yeah.
right, and such
media is a big reinforcer.
well, but the thing is that you have to think about all media, not just movies as
Yeah.
well. We have live theater, which has it more in there than you would expect as well.
Right.
For
She'd
example,
know.
Grease. I was uncomfortable doing Grease in high school because it had smoking and sex in it, and the moral was sort of be a whore and you'll be accepted. That's not okay. That's still not an okay message to be sending to any youth.
Right, gotcha.
So I would agree that it's partially
Yeah.
the school, partially media.
Yeah.
But media
Let's get
now,
you on record saying, send a message to Hollywood.
not just
saying-
Hollywood.
Well, let's get you on camera saying that.
Okay.
Just say it.
He's
please.
zooming in on
I
Yeah.
would say yes. That Hollywood
cool.
should take a higher responsibility in
Yeah.
exposing tobacco to
Awesome.
children.
I don't
Would you agree with that, Katie?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to do it, but
Well, that's what this is for. Is that we're
it's worth
trying
a
to
try
generate
to
buzz.
get them to.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say if nobody
Definitely.
tries, you don't know.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is very true.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you very, very much. Yeah, this has been very fun. Yeah.
Hopefully we've been helpful, Colin.
Yes.
And not just
I know, you
crazy
definitely
picked,
ADD.
helpful.
I was going to say you picked two people who are very outspoken.
No, that's
And
cool.
a
That's
little
what we
crazy,
want, you know,
but-
because we're walking around downtown.
Right.
And people are like, "Oh, no."
Well, a lot of people downtown are like, I don't want to talk.
No, no. Yeah,
No, I'm
okay.
not going to talk about
Once
no
again,
cigarettes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no
We really
problem. Yeah.
appreciate it. All right, cool. Okay. First off, my name is Colin. Sorry.
I'm Tom.
Nice to meet you, Tom. I'm good. I'm really good. How are you?
Oh, I'm alright.
Awesome. Yeah. So what we're basically doing today is that, well, I'm their youth advisor. These kids are part of a Frederick-based coalition called Trash, which means teens rejecting abusive smoking habits, right? And what we want to do is we want to present a statistic for you, which is that, well, actually, why don't you tell me, how often do you think, whoops, here's a bus. How often do you think tobacco is depicted? How often do you think tobacco use is depicted in G-rated movies?
Not all.
Would you believe if I told you that 40% of G-rated movies depicted tobacco in some form?
Yeah. Well, I can believe it.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you consider that they're just kids, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So my question is, do you think we should send a message to Hollywood saying, don't put tobacco in G-rated movies? Because when you put tobacco in G-rated movies, you're influencing kids to pick up smoking as a habit later on.
Well, I don't know. Kids are going to do what they do.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
When did you? Do you mind if I ask when did you start?
probably when I was about 8 years old.
Really?
Oh.
Really? Do you recall seeing?
Slim.
Do you recall seeing cigarettes in movies prior to that?
No.
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 Did you watch a lot of movies when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Planet of the Apes and everything. It wasn't any different.
Gotcha. Yeah. Definitely.
So,
Would you, if you could go back and change that, and not start smoking when you were 8, would you?
probably.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, it was
I can see
just
that.
something to do because you seen it's the adults
Ah,
that,
gotcha. So you came from a smoking household.
smoking
Yeah.
household.
Gotcha.
The adults that smoke.
Yeah. So that kind
So
of.
it was
influenced
one of
you.
those things that you tried, and then I remember my dad. When I got caught smoking, puffing on cigarettes until I got sick.
Yeah. Wow.
And then they never touched it again until I was like 14.
Yeah.
I quit a couple times through the years.
But it's hard.
Yeah, it's
Would you
hard.
say it's hard to, like, if you quit off of cigarettes, is it hard to stay off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all in your head.
It's addictive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and we'll be seeing you around. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
boys, take it easy.
You too.
Good luck.
Hey, you know what, boy? Smoking's bad. Don't do that again.